Is that correct?
From what we understand, our reporting says the exact same thing, that the district attorney is dealing with everything. This is going to go to a grand jury, which we understand is very typical, especially in this area. I think it's typical pretty much everywhere. If you have a suspicious, unnatural death, that something would go to a grand jury. The local police do seem like they may have jumped the gun in calling this a simple drowning with, however exactly that they worded it, just a drowning with no foul play suspected. That doesn't say there was no foul play at all, or there couldn't be, or they're not investigating. But to just write this off as no foul play suspected off the bat, I think got everyone's kind of hackles up. And I think that's a particularly something that the family didn't want to hear. You have a strong swimmer, young guy, athletic person who went out, didn't come home, and no one saw him struggling. You didn't see him go in the water and struggle. That's a simple drowning. We saw someone go in, we tried to help, they drowned. That to me is a case closed, simple drowning. But now the feds are involved and the FBI is involved, perhaps because there is more to it than it seems.
Right. Josh Colesrud, I got a question for you. The FBI is now part of this investigation. That is significant. The FBI is only brought in under certain circumstances. That is within the state jurisdiction. And this thing has mushroomed from no foul play suspected to the DA is handling all of this. And I'd like to point out that the sheriff was not responding. Well, guess what, everybody? When I would be besieged by reporters when I was prosecuting a case, you're not at liberty to comment on an ongoing investigation as much as we on the outside looking in feel stymied. I'm surprised the law enforcement officer even stopped to talk to the journalist, WDSU, because they shouldn't be revealing evidence. So don't make it look like he's hiding in his office. He should not be revealing evidence. That said, address. This is now at the district attorney level, and the FBI is in. That's what I need you for, Colesrud.
Yeah, so great question. So let's separate the two. The district attorney works for the state. The FBI works for the U.S. Attorney's Office. Now, just because there's a homicide does not make this a federal case. So ask yourselves, why would the FBI be here? Well, there's two possible reasons. Number one, we know that the family has hired a very prominent civil rights attorney, and there might be a civil rights component here. And civil rights always includes the federal government. So if, for example, there is an allegation that the local law enforcement didn't do something, or there's a racial component to them not doing something, that, of course, can bring in the U.S. Attorney's Office. The second reason the FBI could be brought in is that this small town just needs help with its resources, right? They don't have the manpower for this type of investigation. And we've already seen that they've had a couple of missteps with the media, like you just said, where they want to be closed-lipped with the investigation without giving some type of...
It's not just missteps with the media. They said this was a natural causes accident, no foul play. That's more than a misstep.
Yeah,
that's a COD, cause of death, manner of death. Okay. The FBI has been brought in to work with law enforcement. And you know what, Dr. Bethany Marshall, joining me, renowned psychoanalyst out of LA. She's an author. She's on Bravo. She's on Peacock, star of a new hit podcast, On the Couch with Dr. Bethany Marshall. You know, I don't like the way Colesrud just said that. They're from a small town. They need help. Well, you know what? Not every jurisdiction is New York, LA, Houston, Atlanta. They don't have this type of investigation all the time. So I commend them for bringing in the FBI. Okay? That said, Dr. Bethany, I want to find out if every single person has been brought in and questioned